You are not expected at the wedding. And do not bring that child. That's what my father messaged me. My mother followed with something colder. She doesn't belong in our family. And neither do you. I just stared at the screen. My daughter, Ava, was 5. She'd been picking flower petals beside me, humming off-key, completely unaware her own grandparents had disowned her with 10 words. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I didn't even reply. I just sat there, feeling something calcify in my chest. My brother, Caleb, was getting married at the family estate in Charleston, the same house I grew up in, the same house I scrubbed top to bottom every summer as my way of contributing. And now I was nothing more than an inconvenience. Because Ava didn't have a father. Because I didn't follow their plan. I held Ava close and whispered, "You belong to me." Then I called the bank. Calmly. Coldly. And did one thing my family never thought I had the courage or legal authority to do. When I hung up 11 minutes later, our entire family fortune had already started shifting. And the wedding? Oh, I still planned on attending. 12 years ago, when my grandfather died, he left everything to my mother, but with one unusual condition. The trust would pass to her children equally upon her death or incapacitation. And guess who had power of attorney? Me. They'd forgotten that detail. Or maybe they never thought I'd use it. They thought I'd stay quiet, stay grateful, stay small. But that Friday, while they rehearsed flower arrangements and brunch speeches, I sat across from my banker and calmly transferred over $3.2 million into a holding account under my legal name, the maximum permitted for asset protection under Clause 14b. By the time the estate lawyer was notified, the funds were already in process. "Do you want to notify your family?" he asked me. I smiled. "No. Let them find out when the florist check bounces." Meanwhile, Ava and I stopped at a small boutique and bought her a cream lace dress. I let her pick sparkly shoes. I bought myself a navy suit, sleek and silent. That night, I texted my father exactly one word. Understood. Then I silenced my phone. The ceremony was the next day. And I was done being invisible. The estate buzzed with music, floral deliveries, and the kind of laughter only money can buy. I parked 3 blocks away. Ava held my hand tightly. "Are we allowed to go, Mommy?" I knelt beside her. "We're not crashing anything, baby. We're reclaiming what's ours." As we approached the gates, the security guard squinted. "Sorry, ma'am, this is a private event." I handed him the ownership transfer document, notarized and filed that morning. His eyes widened. He radioed something in, stepped aside. Inside the estate, my mother was mid-toast when the event manager whispered in her ear. She turned pale. Her voice cracked. "There's been an issue with the venue." I walked in, Ava beside me, calm as ice. "You," my mother spat. "How dare you show up here?" I smiled faintly. "As of 9:41 this morning, this property is under shared ownership between me and your trust. You wanted me gone, but the law says otherwise." Caleb's fiancé looked between us, stunned. "Is this a joke?" "Oh no," I replied softly. "But you'll remember this punchline for the rest of your life." My mother lunged toward me, but the estate lawyer stepped in first. "She's telling the truth." The room collapsed into stunned silence. My brother Caleb stared at me like he didn't recognize me. "She's bluffing," he muttered. "Right? She's lying." The estate lawyer unfolded the paperwork, stamped and signed. "It's legitimate. As of this morning, Rain is a legal co-owner of the Whitaker estate, including this house." My mother's hand flew to her mouth. The photographer kept filming. The planner whispered into her earpiece. Guests began murmuring. They could smell the scandal. "You've always been jealous of your brother," my father said sharply. "This is pathetic." I didn't blink. I didn't take anything. I just took back what was always legally mine. Caleb's fiancé turned to him. "You told me she was cut off, that she had nothing." I met her gaze. "They lied to you, just like they lied to me." But I brought receipts. The florist walked in furious. "Credit card declined. We need immediate payment or we're pulling the installations." All eyes turned to Caleb. "Pay it," he snapped. I tilted my head. Why don't you use your Amex Black? Oh, right, it's linked to the family account. The one I now control. And just like that, his hands started shaking. My mother stormed toward me, fury on her face. You smug little. Careful, I said quietly, blocking Ava behind me. There are cameras. And witnesses. She stopped cold. The wedding planner was already filming, her assistant pretending to adjust lighting. Leave. Now, my father growled. Before you embarrass yourself further. I reached into my purse and pulled out a slim envelope. This isn't just about the estate. You forgot one thing. Mom illegally accessed a restricted trust account in my name 2 years ago. I have the forensic audit. His face twitched. You wouldn't dare. Try me, I said. There's a reason the IRS flagged the family trust this quarter. I didn't leak anything. I just pointed them in the right direction. Ava tugged on my sleeve. Mommy, are we still not welcome? I crouched beside her. We're not staying, love. We just came to remind them. This house was built by people who thought blood meant loyalty. But today they showed us it doesn't. As I turned to leave, the catering manager rushed over. Wait. Who's paying for the event? I didn't turn back. Ask the groom. Or better yet, check with the bank. I hear they froze the accounts. Caleb chased after me into the marble foyer, his polished shoes skidding on the tiles. Rain, wait, please. You don't have to do this. I stopped by the grand staircase, the same one where I used to sit as a child, listening to them toast to straight A's while mocking my stutter. My hands didn't shake anymore. Don't have to do what? I asked calmly. Remind you that I exist? He looked panicked now. I messed up. Okay? I didn't know they were going to block you out. I thought you'd moved on. You didn't even ask, I said. Not once. You had a daughter's room converted for your wedding registry. That takes planning. Caleb looked away. By the way, I added, tell your fiancé to cancel the honeymoon. The travel agency payment bounced. I gave them your cell. His face drained of color. And your groomsmen's suits? Yeah. I called the rental company myself. They'll be arriving to collect in about 20 minutes. You might want to take photos now. From behind him, I heard my mother shouting, Fix this, Caleb. Fix it. I stepped into the sunlight with Ava and whispered, They're the ones who broke it. We didn't drive home immediately. Ava and I stopped by the park near my old high school, the one I wasn't allowed to attend prom in because my mother said I'd embarrass the family. She played in the leaves while I sat on the bench, my phone buzzing nonstop with unknown numbers and panicked voicemails. Then came the one I was waiting for. Miss Whitaker, this is Dana from Wellspring and Holloway Legal. I'm calling regarding the emergency injunction filed this morning. Your concerns about financial misappropriation of the Whitaker Family Trust are now under active investigation. We advise you not to respond to any contact from the beneficiaries or trustees until further notice. I smiled. Back at the house, the one I bought myself, no cosigner, no help. Ava was drawing at the kitchen table when I pulled out the old storage box from my closet. Letters I wrote but never sent. Pictures of my dad and Caleb from when I still believed I mattered. I lit a match and dropped the first envelope into the fireplace. The flame caught fast. Cleansing. Upstairs, Ava called, Mommy, look what I drew. I walked up slowly, not looking back once. 2 weeks later, the wedding didn't happen. The estate lawyer froze the family trust pending litigation. Apparently, I wasn't as disinherited as they assumed. My name was still on the original documents, signed by my late grandfather. The same grandfather who once told me, you see more when you're the quiet one in the corner. Their lawyer tried to settle quietly. I refused. At the emergency family meeting, my mother wore sunglasses indoors. My father didn't speak. Caleb kept checking his phone like someone was coming to save him. I walked in alone, documents in hand, and handed them copies. This is your legacy, I said. And this, I held up a notarized letter, is my choice to walk away from it. You're giving it up? My father asked, stunned. No, I said, stepping closer. I'm giving it to Ava. I already filed for sole guardianship. She'll grow up knowing her worth. They said nothing. There was nothing left to say. I turned, walked out, and didn't look back. That night, Ava crawled into my lap. Mommy, are we safe now? I kissed her forehead. We always were. They just never knew it.